The Texas-based company says they've brought back the extinct species by genetically modifying the gray wolf to match the DNA of its ancient relative.
Just no. No. Everything that died was like killer. It was going to take us out. In the words of White Lotus,
go out with a bang.
No! Piper, no! Buddhism, no!
Come on, just slam an iron brew and let's do this, boys.
Hide your kids. Lock the doors. You're listening to HR's most dangerous podcast. Chad Sowash and Joel Cheeseman are here to punch the recruiting industry right where it hurts. Complete with breaking news, brash opinion, and loads of snark. Buckle up, boys and girls. It's time for the Chad and Cheese Podcast.
Oh, yeah. You put your tariff in, you pull your tariff out. You put your tariff in and you shake it all about. Welcome to HR's Most Dangerous Podcast. I'm Chad, Tariff Hokey Pokey Sowash.
I'm JT. Thursday's the new Friday O'Donnell.
And I'm Maureen, a.k.a. Mo. Where's my cabin? Wiley, Clough.
Hospitality is the heart of our society. It brings people together to share great food, drinks, and experiences. But successfully managing a restaurant or hotel is no easy feat. That's where Harry comes in. Harry is the frontline employee experience platform that helps you build, manage, and engage great teams. With Harry, managers can easily find and hire top talent, manage timekeeping, and communicate with employees at any time from any place. Candidates and team members can quickly and efficiently apply for jobs, swap shifts, and access important information entirely from their mobile devices. And Harry's robust employee engagement tools make team members feel more connected than ever. With Harry, as an owner or operator, you get a bird's eye view of your business, from turnover cost, labor cost, employee sentiment, compliance risk, and team performance. Run your business better by understanding the power of your people. Because when your team is the heart of your business, Harry is the heartbeat. See how it transforms your business.
Where's my cat? It sounds like a movie reference. What's going on here? Oh, wait a minute. No, I can tell by your background. You were in a cabin before. Tell us a little bit about that.
I was. I just feel like as much as humanly possible, I want to be as far away from other humans as possible. So that's it. I want to touch grass.
Should we take that personal? JT?
No, I love you guys are the best, but we always do this remotely anyway. So I could be doing this on the moon. So, just touching some grass these days, getting grounded. That's what I'm looking for. So.
I like it. Touching some grass.
Mm-hmm. We all got to touch some grass, baby.
So I guess, the big question is, are we sick of tariff shit?
Terrified.
Terrified. That was good.
Yep.
Did you use that one before?
I did not actually. I'm sure I'm not the only person who's come up with that one. Although I like to think it's the Maureen Wiley Clough original, but no, doubtful.
So did we ever think in our lifetime that we would be this focused on blanket tariffs? I thought that was something that we talked about in the past, like the 1800s, 1900s. But did we ever think that we were going to be talking about this?
No. And can I just say that I've somehow gotten on the side of tariff talk? My feed is blowing up with people who want to give you the detailed explanation.
Oh my God.
Right down to the guy that held my attention yesterday for over 4 minutes with Lego figures. He made Lego figures to explain scenarios to help people understand. I mean, he was really going for the 5th grade audience, and I was there for it.
Yeah.
So I'd love that video. Please send it to me.
It's insane. It's everywhere. I can't get away from it.
It is. And I mean, unfortunately, our damage is kind of done by now. Mm-hmm. We've got, the whack job, Howard Lutnick making a statement about millions of Americans screwing in tiny little iPhone screws, and they're going to bring back manufacturing to the U.S. Then China. This is, oh God, I hate to say this. This is fucking hilarious. China's trolling us, kids. China's trolling us, and I'm going to show you why. So if you're listening to the podcast, you can always come back, go to YouTube, and actually watch this, but you've got to see this video. Here we go. So this is what bringing back manufacturing looks like in China's trolling eyes. We've got some big Americans on sewing machines. It's just, come on.
Yeah.
Screwing in iPhone. Make America great again.
It's pretty good trolling. Yeah. A+ trolling.
But now, on the back of that, I do have an American who has an opinion as well, and I think this coupled together, I think is important. So let's watch this.
Like, he doesn't think these things through before he tells us. He just tells us what he's thinking as soon as it occurs to him. This shit sounds nuts. I'm gonna go to China, and I'm gonna get those jobs from China and bring them back here to America. For what, nigga? So iPhones can be $9,000?
Oh my gosh.
Leave that job in China where it belongs. None of us want to work that hard.
None of us want to work that hard.
It's crazy. It's crazy. I read an article yesterday. A couple was in Canada on a trip, and they got on a gondola or a ski trip. And this Canadian couple, the wife just started railing on them about being American, and while they were in Canada, they better buy Canadian and all this stuff. And finally, the husband, it kind of calmed her down. The Canadian husband, they got off, and she said, you should really go down this trail, like trying to be a nice person. It was the worst trail they'd ever been on. They barely made it down the hill alive. They were like, I think she's really angry with us. So I don't know. Wow. I mean, you're going to be traveling soon, Chad. Who knows how people are going to feel?
You got to throw that Canadian logo, that Canadian flag logo on your backpack or something.
Yeah.
Throw them off.
Where we have a place, there are more Canadians because apparently Europeans wanted to keep it a secret from us dumb Americans. And I don't blame them, to be quite frank. But the thing I have noticed, because we've had the place for a few years now, is that we were literally like the only American in this little village that we have right on the ocean. And now I go and I'm noticing more and more and more Americans. And it's like you hear through the news, a lot of people are like, fuck this, I'm out. And then people are like, I thought you said you were out. Why are you still here in the US? And it's like, oh no, they're coming now. Stop it.
Chad, you're a trendsetter. I think a lot of people are going to be following in your footsteps for sure.
Yeah, I think my wife's the trendsetter.
Oh, well, she's a smart one. And please hook us all up when the time comes.
Come and visit.
Will do.
All right, let's go ahead. Let's jump into...
Is it time for shout-outs?
Yeah, who wants to go first? Is that you, Mo? You want to hit it?
I'll go. You know, being a fan of jumping on the bandwagon for trends, I went ahead and did what literally everyone on planet Earth is doing, according to LinkedIn, my LinkedIn feed, which is pump some prompt into ChatGPT to see what kind of action figure it's going to pop out based on what it knows about you. You guys, this is mine. So I'm going to go ahead and tell you.
You shaved today. That's awesome.
It hallucinated a little bit on this one. I would like to also point, not only am I not a male, I do not play video games.
Oh, you're not a gamer.
I literally know almost nothing about video games.
So listener, there's an Xbox controller.
Yeah, thank you.
There's a book that says The Journey. It says writer, and you do some writing, right?
I do.
Yeah.
I do.
Okay. Then there's a 20-sided die, and then a robot underneath it. Now, the 20-sided die is mainly a Dungeons and Dragons thing. So are you a Dungeons and Dragons girl?
No, I've never played. I don't even know the concepts within. And by the way, like, to call the book that I'm allegedly writing The Journey is such an insult to me because I cannot stand when people use the phrase The Journey. Like, it kills me. So ChatGPT, ChatGPT, whatever we want to call you, you got some work to do. Please don't hallucinate this hard. Like, this is an affront to me. Yeah,
I think someone hijacked your ChatGPT and fed it some stuff beforehand because, whoa, that's a mismatch.
Right? I was like, this makes zero sense on any level. But anyway.
But I now want to try it, so you're going to send me the prompt.
Should. Yeah, let me know. I'll send you the prompt.
No, I will send you the prompt because mine actually looks like me.
Okay. I thought there was like a prompt going on that everyone was using that was the same. No, everyone's just prompting.
Yeah, but I mean, the thing is, it's all about prompt engineering. It's about continuing to add to it so it actually comes closer. So hers is probably version 1 and mine's like 25. I don't know. She got on the bandwagon very early, let's say.
I love that.
Here at the Chad G's podcast, one thing that we love is obviously you watching, but also like and subscribe. All right, my shout out goes to Colossal Biosciences. You might have heard of these guys lately because they're the ones who brought back the dire wolf. The dire wolf has been Extinct for 12,500 years. Watch this. Wait, we're Jurassic Park times, kids. Watch this.
Wolf go from fictional TV show to real life. Yes, despite making a cameo on the hit HBO series Game of Thrones, the dire wolf hasn't been seen on Earth for roughly 10,000 years.
Cute.
Until now. Meet Romulus, Remus, and yes, Khaleesi, 3 wolves that are part of Colossal Bioscience's The Extinction Project. The Texas-based company says they've brought back the extinct species by genetically modifying the gray wolf to match the DNA of its ancient relative. Some scientists are skeptical these are true dire wolves, but the company says it's a big step toward their goal of bringing back the wolf by 2028. Which
bring back shots to the U.S.
Which species would you want to see make a comeback?
Oh, dude.
Wow.
Dude, so,
that's kind of crazy.
This is how Jurassic Park started, but I mean, AI is going to kill us anyway. So, I mean, why not bring some cool extinct animals back? I mean, so as they asked in the video, what extinct animal would you guys bring back?
I'm going dino for sure. Like I'm going T-Rex.
T-Rex? Oh, a little Allosaurus or T-Rex, one of those big ones. What about you, JT?
Just no. I don't know.
Too late.
No.
We've got a dire wolf. The toothpaste is out of the tube. It's gonna happen. Do you want a saber-tooth tiger, raptor? Do you want a dodo bird? I mean, come on. What do you want, JT?
Everything that died was like killer. It was going to take us out.
Dodo.
In the words of White Lotus, no, Piper, no, Buddhism, no.
That was good, JT.
I'm sorry.
I'm impressed.
You're not getting one out of me.
Lies. All lies.
Things are getting weird out there, man.
Yes. Well, I mean, I'm going with the saber-tooth tiger, to be quite frank. Like I said, I think we're in the days of idiocracy, and we're going to be putting Brondo on the lawn soon. So yeah, let's just go ahead. We'll do that. JT, what you got?
Oh my goodness! All right, so my shout out is a little different. Jorge Bestard posted that he runs for EMEA, Vice President of Sales for EMEA for Canva, that every quarter he now institutes this first week of the month of that quarter is this time where they just regroup and rest and just take time, which is so counterintuitive to a hustle culture, especially a sales hustle culture, right? Delivery, you've just come off a quarter. And he got it. He was inspired by somebody in the health space who said, you need to recalibrate. So they clear out the meetings, they review, they work on strategy. No one's pushing to make calls, appointments, et cetera, for 1 week. And it's all about mental and physical wellness. What I like about it is the fact that right now I'm seeing and hearing a lot of managers be like, okay, it's our time again, right? People are lucky to have a job. I saw a whole diatribe about like, why don't people have hustle anymore? And, it's time to bring hustle back. And
kids these days.
I just thought it was nice that he was like, no, I get it. My people are hustling. And so they need a week to recoup, and I'm going to work it into the actual business, not make them take their own vacation time. So shout out. I think that's well played.
Yeah, very well played. And I mean, when we're in a situation where we're doing we're in chaotic times, kids. Okay, let's just go ahead and say that. So, especially if you're in management, okay, if you're in management, that there's some stress that's happening, not just with you and your family, but obviously with the people that you support, the teams that are out there. So again, one of the things that I've been trying to say more is give some grace to yourself, but then also those around you, right? So I think that's the big key. So that's a great shout out, JT.
Yeah, the cool down week. He called it the cool down week. I think it's great.
I love that. And I bet you the productivity and the employee retention and all that's going to skyrocket. Yeah. And I hope we get to see some really great results from it that can be then trumpeted around. I mean, because right now I saw an article that came out recently that said that it's costing the economy $766 billion a year because of workplace incivility rising, meaning people who are just being rude, people throwing people under the bus, eye rolling, like degrading comments at the office. And like you said, a lot of that's caused by the stress. in these chaotic times and this job insecurity and instability that everyone's feeling, all these layoffs, AI coming for your job, et cetera. And so if you're just like freaking nice to people, you can actually change your company's trajectory and the lives of your employees. So you can have a win-win. So I love that guy is doing that. I hope we can follow up. Maybe we can get him on the show.
The problem is toxic masculinity is making a comeback. That's a problem. Right. So when you can actually get other males to get in there and say, first and foremost, it's not right. I mean, I don't care what the fucking manosphere tells you. OK, it's not right. We're all human beings. We're all created equal, should be paid equal, all that other fun stuff. But I think this is where we need to step up as leaders and actually have the discussions with our teams. It's not right. Right. I mean, you have those discussions with your kids, and sometimes, unfortunately, the people that work for you act like your kids, right? So you just have to take the time. You do, right?
Yeah.
We want to give our kids good examples, right? And when our leaders do this kind of stuff, this negative stuff, this toxic stuff, it's not setting the right course for people. And so that drives me crazy that I have to actually tell my kids, don't do what that world leader's doing because it's not okay. Kind of a weird moment. Yeah.
Don't do that. I know he's the leader of the free world. Anyway. But one thing, leader of the free world. No, we're the leader of free stuff here at Chad and Cheese Kids. Always, always, always free stuff from the Chad and Cheese at chadcheese.com/free. What can I get for free, Chad? So you're going to love this. First and foremost, T-shirts. Everybody loves T-shirts. They're on LinkedIn all over the place. They're on the socials all over the place. Everybody gets a Chad and Cheese. When they go to chadcheese.com/free, they post it. Joel sent me this morning. You guys haven't seen it yet. I'm going to send it to you. Joel sent me this morning the new design. And you know how we love concert T-shirts, right? So the last one, we have like the Guns N' Roses one. Before that, it was like AC/DC. This new one is fucking kick ass. So I can't wait to be able to do that. Who sponsors those shirts? Well, our friends over at Aaron App. We also give away 2 bottles of whiskey a month to one listener. Just one listener. You get 2 bottles. That's from our friends at Van Hack. Bourbon barrel aged syrup. Did you get a theme here, kids? Bourbon barrel aged syrup from our friends at Kiora, who actually sponsor shout outs. Love those guys from up north. Craft beer from the data geeks over at Aspen Tech Labs. And if it is your birthday, it's time for a little rum from Plum. The hard part here is because Joel usually runs the soundboard. He has all this shit up. And I can't allow a episode to go by without a little bit of that. Oh, yeah.
There we go.
This is for you, Joel. Now? We miss you.
I know I can.
He's spring break in Canada. He's spring break in Canada. Yeah.
He's proud of you right now. He found it.
He's spring break in Canada, which means all of his in-laws have been giving him shit all week because of all this tariff stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
So you come back and be able to blow out a little bit. But he's traveling to Canada. We're going to be headed to Unleash in less than a month. Unleash America in Vegas. We're doing some cool stuff with the team over at GEM. We're going to be in the GEM booth moderating some panel discussions on the 7th and the 8th. And we're also doing some really cool shit with the team over at Smart Recruiters. Going to be recording another sessions season. That's right. We've got 2 out now. We're starting to drip out season 2. We've got 3. We've got another one that's in the can, and we're getting ready to record season 4. This shit is amazing. We're also going to have a film wrap-up party on the 7th in a suite at the Cosmo. You might be, who knows? You might get a VIP ticket.
So much FOMO.
What are you guys up to?
Awesome.
Are you going back to the cabin anytime soon, Mo? Are you going skiing anytime, JT?
Hitting that up.
Yeah, it's mud season here, so there's not really more skiing left. We're waiting for summer, which is good. I just feel this is the season of graduation and charity events and stuff. I just feel like every time I turn around, there's something else to go to. I might slip a birthday in there. So yeah,
I'm going to my 20th college reunion too.
Ooh.
And those are happening as well. It's crazy.
It's crazy. I went to one college reunion. It did not, or not, well, I'm sorry, high school reunion. It did not turn out well. So therefore, I haven't been back.
Oh, no. What happened?
So you're not allowed back is what you're telling me.
I don't want to talk about it.
There's like, you're on the list. Got it. You're on the list.
We're going to get this after the show.
Old high school, somewhat who wanted to be flames. You get a little drunk. People start to hit on you. Yeah. Julie almost killed a bitch. That almost happened.
Well, now that's a story we're going to need to hear over some drinks.
Yeah, 100%.
I'll let Julie tell that one. In the meantime,
Topics!
So have you heard about this whole thing with Rippling and Deel?
No, what did something happen?
Oh, you haven't? Yeah, you guys are full of shit. Anyway, it's like literally, okay, listener, if you haven't listened, it's like corporate espionage thriller. So Rippling, which is a workforce management software. It's also a comedy, by the way. They recently sued rival Deel, accusing them of planting a spy within their ranks. You can listen to last week's show entitled Deel Spy Games to get more in-depth podcast story. It's juicy. Anyway, now amidst this scandal, Deel's head of communications, Elizabeth Diana, that's a great name, Elizabeth Diana has resigned. She had been with the company since November 2021, and her departure comes right on the heels of all of this spy talk. Meanwhile, Rippling, which has raised over $2 billion with a B, $2 billion already in funding, reportedly in talks to raise several $100 million more, aiming for a valuation of $16 billion. So give me your thoughts. JT, you start out first. Thoughts on Elizabeth leaving Deel during this whole spy thriller thing, and then also the Rippling cash. What do you think?
Okay, so her leaving Deel reminds me of every political drama show I've ever watched where the comms person takes the hit. Do you know what I mean? Somebody in that organization made some bad choices, and then you go to the comms person and go, the whole reason we really have you is for moments like this so we can fire you publicly, blame you. Hopefully she's getting the nice parachute, right? And somebody that they know is going to set her up with a job. But that's how that works, right? Well, I'm telling you, it's the calm person. That's what they do. That's why they're there, So I'm hoping she's out there collecting a check on, whatever. Being a startup advisor, which I know we all are, I can't wrap my head around why you need to go for more money. what? So you can say 16 billion with a B? That's just got bad news written all over it. I don't know, really, really hard for that unicorn status. I just don't think you need it though, So I don't know. What do you think?
What about Jay? What do you think, Mo?
Well, I think that this proves the adage, there's no such thing as bad press, is actually incorrect, because this was so bad. She was like, peace, I'm out, right? I wouldn't want to touch this company with a 10-foot pole. I mean, I would just be like, you guys are on your own. I had nothing to do with this nonsense. Good luck to you. See you later. And hopefully she has some sort of package, like you were saying, JT, where she can kind of coast for a bit. But I think I read she was previously at Meta, Instagram, and did some other pretty high profile stuff. So I'm gathering she will land just fine. But that dumpster fire, I would run as hard and as fast as I could away from it. I would want my name nowhere near it, which is why I feel so bad for the people who were innocent within the organization, had nothing to do with this, because this company, I think they're tarnished forever. I don't think there's no redemption from this, if you ask me, which I don't know. I mean, we'll see what happens. It's all allegations at this point, but based on what Mr. O'Brien had to say, it sure sounds pretty damn credible. So shout out to Mr. O'Brien, who gave us the most lurid details that I legitimately think this will be a Netflix drama.
Do you remember the Lyft claimed at one point that Uber made a bunch of calls, a bunch of fake requests for lifts, and then no shows. I swear that was a thing way back when, right?
Yeah.
So it's got that whole.
Well, that was child's play compared to this, though.
So true. But you know what I mean? The fact that it still goes on.
It's wild.
So, for Elizabeth leaving, all I can say is run, Lizzie, run. Okay. because I mean, she had a star-studded resume before, as you'd said, Mo. She was global comms and PR at Google. You might have heard of those guys. VP corporate comms at Facebook, head of comms at Insta. Yeah. Dude, I'd run as fast and far as I could away from this mess, especially with the likelihood that some of her buddies in the C-suite are going to be wearing orange jumpsuits, possibly sometime soon. So yeah, I get it. I mean, if you can get away from this, and again, listeners, if you didn't listen to last week, the spy games, got to listen. We ran through the affidavit. You got to listen to that. But then we talk about other unicorns. Oh my God, dude!
I hadn't heard that one.
We're talking about Rippling needing cash. Talk about warning signals. Okay, so you remember, and I'm going to go back a little bit to March of 2023 when the SVB debacle happened. Silicon Valley Bank. Remember when that happened and everybody was getting ready? So when that happened, I don't know if you remember this or not, Rippling struck an emergency $500 million term sheet in 12 hours.
Wow. During that
SVB meltdown. And as Joel would say, don't allow a crisis to go to waste. But seriously, this is, to me is a huge warning signal. If I were a company looking for a workforce management payroll platform, looking at the unstable market, wondering why Rippling needs more cash, and remembering Rippling obviously wasn't on solid ground during the SVB meltdown, being able to cover payrolls, hence needing $500 million to be able to do that. I forgot about the whole spy drama too. Yeah, that thing's going on. In my honest opinion, I would get away from anything that was Rippling or Deel at this point. I don't know if you got, even if they were my current provider, I would be in emergency mode looking for a contingency just in case I needed to hop quick, because the last thing you want to do is not have payroll.
Yeah. Yeah. It's kind of important. People like that.
And I also have more news. Are you ready for more news? Yes. Deel, who is also a unicorn, Keith O'Brien, Deel's former spy who was working at Rippling, has avoided imprisonment. That's right. He's not going to prison for contempt of court, despite admitting to destroying his iPhone, which was central to the allegations of corporate espionage. O'Brien had been accused of acting as a spy for a rival Deel. After being served with a high court order on March 14th, yes, less than a month ago, kids, to preserve his electronic devices, he performed a factory reset on his phone, later destroyed the phone with an axe.
I just love the theatrics of this.
Yeah, it's a pregnant pause here, because, with an axe, and disposed of the remains down a drain at his mother-in-law's house. O'Brien claimed he was under duress, alleging harassment and surveillance of his family. The court accepted the apology and explanation, deciding to impose a custodial sentence. So more likely he's going to get like a ankle bracelet or something like that. But so do we believe this leniency has anything to do with O'Brien's cooperation? Thoughts?
I'm no expert on this at all, but I would think so. And also, like, maybe a hat tip for the incredible details he provided. Like, he didn't necessarily have to throw in that they mentioned James Bond, but he did. And for that, I'm forever grateful. Also, I have to say, like, at some level, he's the little guy in this situation. You know, he was the pawn chip. Right. Wait, is that a pawn? No.
He's the pawn.
Yeah. Whatever the term is. He was the pawn. Yeah. And the masterminds were the high-powered individuals. And I feel like so often those guys are kind of untouchable in the eyes of the law. I mean, we all just, hopefully, if you like good television, we all just watch The White Lotus. And typically it's like the people in those positions of power, they just can do what they do and get away with it. So I kind of sort of like they do. And I kind of sort of like that the little guy is not going down for this in the same way that I imagine the big guys who orchestrated the whole thing, who are in the positions of exceptional power and wealth and privilege, are going to go down.
It's JT.
I just envision somewhere like in the police or wherever this goes, everybody's looking at this case going, I don't want it. Like, you take this one. Low guy on the totem pole. Like, you take this one. Like,
are you saying like, if Johnny Cochran was alive, he wouldn't take this case?
I just feel like there are people who's like, I am not attaching this one to my career. These two nerdy HR companies are spy gaming it with this guy. Like, somewhere out there, they're going, yeah, I don't want that one. Like, give it to someone else. Give it to Mikey. Remember Life's Hero? Like,
give it to Mikey.
I swear that's what they got to be thinking. But I am with Mo. I do think that he must have struck a deal of some type to be able to not go to jail. But the acts, like it just would have been more perfect if he filmed himself breaking his own phone, like having his wife or somebody film it. But the fact that he can give it to us in such vivid detail. Absolutely, right? Again, yeah.
And just a quick reminder, he did all of this for £5,000 a month.
It kills me to know this.
£5,000 a month. That's about $6,000 to be a spy, corporate espionage. You think that, I'm going to get a cool mill, each month to be able to knock this out.
Has he not watched any movies?
Yeah.
You asked for way more.
At least
at least 20 figures. Like, I mean, come on.
Give me a break. Are you kidding me?
Wild.
I know we are a cheap industry. Don't get me wrong. But come on.
That takes the cake.
O'Brien, you're worth more. You're worth more. Well, you're not now, but you were.
Yes,
you were worth more.
Yeah.
I think he's done. Poor guy.
Excellent. Okay.
Poor family. Innocent family. That's the part that gets me.
I know. Anyway, as again, the prediction, and as you were talking about earlier, Mo, I think, and I said last week on last week's show, I think the only way to save Deel is to clean the C-suite house, period. And I think that from a couple of different reasons. First and foremost, all the people who had nothing to do with it, they're going to fucking leave. And if you don't have the people to actually do the job in the first place, who have gotten you to where they're at about 800 million ARR in a very short amount of time, what happens when they leave, right?
Nothing good.
So you need to get that head shed. You need to get that C-suite restocked with adults in the room and do it quick. Because if you don't, I fear you're 100% right, Mo. They're going to be dead.
Chad, you know the industry best. Who's third? That's nobody's talking about. I mean, these two are duking it out.
There are so many. There are so many EOR companies.
And that's where I think I said this a couple episodes ago. We keep talking about these two, or whoever. We're always talking. It's going to be somebody we're not even talking about. That's going to win the game while they play these games.
Yeah,
that's such a good point. Who's going to be that underdog who rises up and eats their lunch right now?
Whoever's listening, message in. Like, let's see. I want informal poll that I didn't ask that we could do. Everybody message in and tell us who you think's going to be taken over while these two do get out.
Great call.
And EOR is so big, it's gotten so much money over the last 3 years that there are plenty of there's Rippling and Deel, right? And then the rest of them, I don't want to say close third, but there's a pack of them, and there's a ton of them. So yeah, I mean, this is definitely their opportunity, literally, to try to go and pick the bones of 100%. Either one of these organizations. And when Rippling, to me, again, sends the signal of warning that they need more cash, too easy. I mean, that's just too easy.
I think that's totally right. And I wonder how many of these competitors that are in this mix are going to capitalize specifically on this whole drama. Because I can imagine like such fire social media content, making fun of it and suggesting an alternative. So I kind of hope they get someone like the Duolingo owl social media analyst or a social media creator in there, just like going to town. I can't remember her name. I feel bad saying that, but she's exceptional and she's done so much for that brand. But I think this is like the moment that you can leverage this and have it, give you some great leads and close some biz. So.
My advice is to check out whoever did the earlier AI video, manufacturing video that was pretty funny, and then have them actually do that for you as well. All right, we are going to take a quick break, but we'll be right back for a tariff version of buy or sell. Who's ready?
So you posted a new job ad. Now you can sit back and wait for the applications to roll in, right? That's why we built JobPixel. Imagine showing candidates why your company is great with real people, real stories, and real culture. With JobPixel, it's not just another job ad. It's an invitation to something much bigger.
Video gives you a 3 times better response rate. So instead of chasing after candidates, they'll be coming to you.
And with a 34% boost in conversions, candidates aren't just looking, they're applying.
And if you're worried about people clicking away, don't be. Our videos reduce bounce rates by 25%. That means they're watching, they're engaged, and they're interested.
282% more engagement. Yeah, you're going to need a bigger inbox.
Finding the right candidate is tough, but with JobPixel, it doesn't have to be. Show your company's authentic story, and the candidates will follow.
Let's make recruiting fun again, because honestly, it could use some help.
Do you want to see how JobPixel can save you time and money while achieving your KPIs? Schedule a demo today.
Okay, so it's buy or sell, kids. It's tariff week, so instead of having 3 startups getting cash, we only have 1.
Yeah.
Damn tariff. That's what happens. What happens when you get a tariff? Okay,
it's terrific, like she said.
So Artisan is the AI startup known for its cheeky Stop Hiring Humans campaign, has secured a 25 million Series A funding round by Glade Brook Capital. Ironically, despite advocating for AI-driven sales agents, Artisan is expanding its human team. That's right, they need humans. Currently employing 35 people with plans to hire 22 more. 23-year-old CEO Jaspar Carmichael Jack. That's right, his name is Jaspar Carmichael Jack. I would go by JCJ. Yes, I would do that. Emphasizes that the provocative slogan was primarily for attention, acknowledging that human labor becomes more valuable alongside AI advancements. That sounds like a bunch of bullshit, Jack. So the CEO is joined by co-founder and chief product officer Sam Stallings. Now, she is the veteran of the two at 30 years of age and spent 8 years in product at IBM. So I'm going to go ahead and do this first because I've been talking about agents for the last freaking months, for goodness sakes. Does this young duo have what it takes to send Artisan to a big exit or maybe become the new platform for IPO? First off, Sam working at IBM for 8 years. I mean, IBM was a powerhouse 25 years ago. So Sam's experience is great, but how often do you hear about Watson? Right? This is not an NVIDIA. This is not a ChatGPT, not an OpenAI, Anyway, Artisan is experiencing high churn, which is very normal when you start selling a product that's not ready for the market. I currently advise Poetry, Adam Gordon, Mike, and Steven, and the team watching them take Gen AI and agents into the market is masterclass. Yes, you have to be fast because text velocity today is staggering, but you also need to know when to take a beat and listen to the market, right? And it doesn't feel, again, like these guys are doing that. I believe these two co-founders are brilliant. And even as Joel would say, this wave, the agent wave, is a big wave. The problem is there are too many surfers on it. It's crowded. And unfortunately, it feels like Artisan has a substandard surfboard. So for that reason, I'm going to go with a sell from me. JT, what do you think?
So here's one thing I love about young startup founders is they don't know what they don't know.
Yeah.
And they're not sitting with years of baggage behind them where they shoot down every idea because we tried it here, we did it here, whatever. I mean, I think there's something real there. So I love the energy of young founders, the can-do spirit. They don't carry the baggage. I like that. I'm with you. I don't see IBM as a visionary place. I think if they were much later stage, maybe she would see, how bigger companies run, and that could be a real plus. But I'm not seeing that there. I think the thing that you said that hits home most for me is just how many players are in the space. And when there's that many people in the space, it can be the littlest thing that's going to help you break through. And I'm not seeing or hearing that in what we had here. So for those reasons, they're a sell for me too.
That escalated quickly.
That's right. That's right. Mo, what do you think? Your thoughts?
Well, I'm really glad you guys are touching on the age of the founders because I think that matters. And the reality is you should have an intergenerational team in order to have the best possible outcomes. And people don't remember this. In tech, especially, there is such incredible bias for youth. And so everybody wants the young founders. But guess what? The young founders don't have experience, which I view as a massive asset. And you can have all of these things together. You can have these people who haven't tried things before and are, not necessarily feeling as though they have the roadmap, and that might embolden them in some ways that some other people would be held back by, right? But if you don't have people who've been there, done that, and have the experience to see around corners, see potential pitfalls emerge before people with less experience, I mean, you're just shooting yourself in the foot. And like so many, obviously, a lot of young founders in tech companies still make it, right? But like you said, there's so many people on this wave. And so if you have two people who are super young early in their career, and by the way, like young people are freaking brilliant. And I am not being ageist against young people. I want to make that very clear. My whole podcast is about ageism in the workplace. So I'm not being ageist here. I care deeply about the subject. But this is a moment where I think you need people who have experience to help guide along the way. And one of the things that freaks me so much out about this whole AI boom is that we don't have intergenerational teams, and people are hurtling through space in an arms race to find and develop technology the most quickly as possible so that they can make the most money as possible. And they don't have guardrails in place. We don't have regulations. We don't have people who've been there, done that, kind of, sorting through what's going on. And I think that opens us up to so much risk and to the possibility of less revenue and value creation. So for those reasons, I'm going to pass, but I also do want to say that I like that the founder, Jaspar Jack or whatever his name is, I like that he admitted that his billboards were specifically to provoke. Like, thanks for saying the quiet part out loud. And the reality is, this is what companies everywhere are doing. He's just saying it out loud. He's like, if they can outsource you with cheaper labor elsewhere, or if they can replace you with AI, or if they think they can, it doesn't matter if you're at work in the office 5 days a week, if you're best friends with your boss, if a company thinks that they can replace you with cheaper labor, whether that be by a robot or a human across the world, or someone who they think they can extract and exploit, who may be younger, for example, because one of the things I can't stand is that I feel like tech companies push out older workers so that they can hire and then exploit younger workers.
Part of the recipe.
Not cool.
Yeah.
But like all of these things, like this is the quiet part out loud. This is what every company's doing. And he's just kind of coming out and saying it and also provoking people and getting buzz. So I think that's actually kind of smart. And so anyway, that's just a side note. But yeah, I'm still passing. I'm out.
Yeah. So I do agree. I mean, they are on, as again, Joel always talks about the wave. This is a great wave. The problem is that you have, and just a great example, you have a company like Smart Recruiters. They were a legacy type of platform from an applicant tracking system standpoint, at least the way that they were set up, right? The way that they were actually built. And they, in less than 3 months, turned the ship around and went full agentic, all to the point where they were, I believe, the highest quadrant for Gartner's quadrant that they just put out. So they went from, that's how fast you can move if you have resources, right? So the problem is trying to actually start up a new company, right? And trying to compete with organizations that already have all of these resources, number one. And then number two, you're a dime a dozen. You're a dime a dozen. Every single company that's going to want to get funding is going to have AI and agentic out there. They have to. That's where the money's at. And if you don't have it, then you're not going to get the money, right? And some of those organizations that are out there who are not looking to take cash because they're focused on, trying to get into the market and get a quick exit. I see that happening, but these guys are Y Combinator. They take 25 million. That's something that I'm personally not interested in. So that is our tariff version of buy or sell, kids. So there you go. Let's go ahead and hit the next one. This next one's straight out of CNBC. Oh my God. So companies are facing a new threat. Job seekers who aren't who they say they are, using AI tools to fabricate photo IDs, generate employment history, and provide answers during interviews. Oh, wait, no, there's more. There's more. You thought that was bad. This one from Fortune magazine. So it turns out that North Koreans didn't need to hack your firewall. Nope. You just hired them into your organization as remote workers. Yep. The hacker call is coming from inside the house. So Fortune 500 companies have unknowingly employed North Korean IT workers posing as remote staff. These fake hires funneled their salaries and access back to Pyongyang, possibly even funding missile programs. Who knows? So while companies were busy trying to build strong firewalls, North Korean spies are gaining access via VPN during your company onboarding. I got no words. Who wants to tackle this one? Anyone?
I'll go. Mom, will you please come pick me up? I am freaking terrified. Like, this is not okay. And the fact that this is happening at Fortune 500 companies where you would imagine that their compliance and security teams would be top notch, tip top. I've worked in tech for a long time. Like, I had to log into so many VPN systems and all this stuff. And it was so irritating as an employee.
But they're already in. That's the thing.
Exactly. Yes. But it's just like, how did they get through the process without being found? Like, that freaks me out.
Background check, anyone?
I'm like, come on, guys. Like, I hope that this story gets spread far and wide because this is freaking terrifying. Like, this is really, really grossly frightening to me. And I think, and I also read another, excuse me. I read another story related to this about the fact that some of these workers that were aided and abetted were aided and abetted by U.S. citizens who got paid for facilitating the entry of these fake IT workers. I'm like, you should you should be in prison for that. This is like so unacceptable. And I think right now, the fact that this is coming out, I think it means that every company that gives a damn about our country and our security has to beef up their cybersecurity, their interview process. It sucks. It's a burden that's going to fall, I think, on companies to take up, but it is the right thing to do. It's the only thing to do. This is so terrifying to me. Truly. I mean, it like made my blood run cold thinking about this. And especially with all the technology that we have at our fingertips to try to prevent this kind of thing, the fact that it's happening to this degree and has been since 2018, it just gives me the chills, honestly. Like, it really makes me feel deeply unsafe. Kind of like when war plans get sent across Signal. That's also a little frightening. So yeah, I'm scared. I'm scared.
JT, can you bring us off the ledge?
Probably not. I don't think I'm known on the show for bringing anybody off the ledge. I'm pretty sure I'm the one that pushes.
Deep breath.
So, we just came off of talking about, instead of hiring humans, hiring bots and how this is all working. We have been talking for so long now about how companies that finally figured out, wait, the jobs I have are remote, will let me go get remote workers where they're cheaper. Right? So there's been this massive offshoring ideas and concepts. And, if it's too good to be true, if you've got a worker that sounds perfect on paper that's willing to work for $5 an hour, should we be suspect? And that's where it just boggles my mind for all the reasons you spoke of, Mo, but also the fact that these companies they're just so quick to go do these things without double checking. Where is this going to go? Is it going to bring us full circle back to people have to physically be in front of us to know that they're real? I've saw multiple tech companies have said they are now only doing in-person hiring and in-person testing because they have been screwed so badly by remote workers. You have to physically come in and you have to actually do the work in front of them so they know that it's really you. That's where we've gotten full circle. Jeez. And I think you're going to continue to see and hear that because of what's happening at this scale. So, how do they adjust for that? How do they compensate for that? I don't know, but it's scary times.
It really is.
All I have to say.
Doesn't anyone notice this? I feel like I'm taking crazy pills.
Yes. I mean, we've got the thing that kills me about companies right now, it's move fast, break things. Well, they're going to be breaking their own things from the inside out because they're not doing the background checks. They're not doing the due diligence. They're not doing what's necessary to make sure that they're safe. And as Mo had said, it's really hard today to try to get serious about your corporate side when you've got the U.S. government putting things on Signal. It's so, I mean, it's over and over. So yes, I've got to play it twice, and then
I feel like I'm taking crazy pills.
And we're going to take a quick break. We'll be back.
At Shaker Recruitment Marketing, our comprehensive services include branding, talent attraction, MarTech, and analytics, empowering you to achieve your recruitment marketing goals. We believe in doing things the right way, delivering the right message through the right activation, achieving the right conversion. For us, business is deeply personal. Our legacy is built on relationships. Together with our people, clients, and partners, we've been shaping the world of talent for over 70 years.
All right. If it can't get any crazier, another one from CNBC. Spotify CEO Toby Lutke told employees in a memo, classy Toby, a memo, that's awesome, that they'll have to show jobs can be done by AI or they can't be done by AI before asking for more headcount or resources. So, wow. A memo, number one. That's pretty impersonal. I mean, a memo, and then saying, look, you have to prove to me that you deserve these new resources. Thoughts. This is not going to be, this is going to be a trend. Watch it.
Oh, I mean, first of all, as a 20-year career coaching veteran, right? Mm-hmm. Coaching people every day, I explain to them, you are not an employee, you are a business of one, you are a service provider, okay? Yeah. And your job is to show how you save or make enough money to justify the cost of hiring you, which is about 130 to 140% of your salary. Do the math, back in the work, and prove yourself if you want to stay employable. When all this AI stuff hit, first thing I said to people is understand, either figure out how to use the AI or you're out the door. Figure it out. Either be the prompt and be the head of marketing that can do the work of 10 people. I'm not saying you're working 60 hours a week. I'm saying show them how you can do it in 35, but the work of 10 people. If you don't figure that out sooner than later, you are going to be in trouble. And that is exactly where we are now, because eventually those people way at the top, we're going to understand the magnitude. And I'm going to take you totally off subject for a minute, but to show you.
Go ahead.
My husband's a pilot, okay? He's not spending time on ChatGPT. He doesn't care. We're planning this trip to Europe. He's trying to figure out the miles. And he looks at me and says, you haven't planned the itinerary. It's going to take time. We need to clear a schedule. I'm like, okay. I said, why don't you pick those dates? He's picking the dates. I'm putting into ChatGPT a prompt about us, what we want to do. He tells me the dates. I hand him my computer. He goes, what? I go, there's your 11-page detail, complete with Google Maps, hyperlink suggestions. He goes, shut up. He opens it up. He looks at it. And he looks at me and he goes, is this a public company? Can I invest? A little behind, baby. A little behind with the ChatGPT. I love you, but no. And amazing. But my point in that moment was, how long has he heard about ChatGPT? But the moment somebody does something that you get, and that's where I feel like executives are hitting now. They are starting to see the magnitude. And so he is just leading the way of C-suites going, show me what you're doing with AI. Yeah. And when you can show me that this has to be done with a human, you're going to see this is just the beginning for that reason. Exactly. Which is why either be part of the AI solution or you're out, And so we've been talking about this for over a year with people, but until it happens to them, they just don't see it until it hurts, And so there you have it.
100%. I agree with literally everything you just said. And what I also found to be really interesting is there was a snapshot of that memo itself. And so it's clear from the snapshot of the memo that not only is it an expectation for people to actually use AI tools in their day-to-day jobs, there's also an expectation that you share the findings with the group. So it's all self-guided. They expect you to go DIY AI. And it's not something that they're doing a corporate rollout. They're not giving you training. And so that, to me, seems like such a massive gap. And they're putting it on the backs of the workers, right? Which, to your point, JT, because of the way these things are shifting, we should be doing anyway. But now they're being forced to by their bosses, right? So it's kind of like, eat your broccoli. Like, we should have been doing this all along, right? And now there's a mandate. But companies don't know what they're doing. This is all fly by night. They're like, hey, use AI. Tell us what you did. Did it work? What should we change? Like, how should we roll this out? So there's still, I view a huge need for AI education across organizations, because people don't know what they don't know, to your point. And there is a lot of resistance to AI adoption. It's decreasing, thankfully, but there was a huge difference between women and men in their adoption. It was like, over the course of 18 studies, Harvard Business School did a report that said it was on average 25% lower adoption rate for women. Wow. I mean, the impact of that, huge. We're moving up. It's going to be better. Thankfully, people are getting it. But I also found it interesting. Women, one of the reasons that was suggested as one of the reasons they did not want to adopt AI was they felt like it was, quote, cheating. And with women who often have this imposter syndrome thing, I can totally see why they're like, I don't want someone to think like I only was able to achieve this because I had a ChatGPT robot helping me, right? But we're finally figuring that out. But there's also much more adoption of AI tools in younger generations than older generations. But there are also older people over the age of 45 who are AI masters. They totally know it inside and out. And the thing that I think freaks me out about all of this AI stuff is there's already so much ageism in hiring. And there was a study that came out recently by Generation that was funded by google.org. And they found that it was something like 60% more likely that people would consider, or gosh, I literally wrote these down so I wouldn't botch this, but here I am. Sometimes the numbers get changed, but I promise you it's worth this. I'm finding it right now. So only 32% of US employers would consider candidates over age 60 for AI focused or AI adjacent roles, like roles that leverage AI, which for Shopify, every employee is expected to use them. So if you're over 60 and you're going for jobs, which by the way, by 2030, 25% of the available workforce will be over 55. So this is going to impact a ton of people and a ton of companies. People don't want to hire you because they don't think that you have what it takes. So we have a lot of work to do. And a lot of it, frankly, is just going to be on us until companies get a roadmap and they're able to help us with training and anti-bias prevention and stuff once they care about that again. Anyway, that was a lot, but.
Yeah. So, I mean, for me, this is the same as it ever was. This isn't new. It just another version of why do you need this position, right? And this is something that hiring managers have had to deal with for years, but now there's an AI spin to it, remember? So now, instead of, well, you're being fired because of AI, now it's like, prove to me that you deserve these resources that AI can't do it, right? That is not cheaper. So I think, obviously, the HR managers, there should be supporting in being able to pull together a lot of this data. But here's a quick hack for TA folks. Forever, we've needed to learn the business side. And there's no better time than now, due to this rapid transformation in business, to help differentiate departments and build business cases on how specific positions are vital and they impact the business's bottom line. This is our chance as TA to actually come in as experts, learn the different disciplines, the different vital positions so that we understand the business more. That's one of the biggest issues, is that we have not been strategic enough. And we can't be strategic because we don't understand the business. This gives us the opportunity to get into the cogs of the actual business, to see what moves business and what's bullshit. We don't need that position anymore. That's dumb, right? Be the person that focuses on doing that and being the expert for your organization. And then they will never call you a fucking cost center again.
That's brilliant. Really good advice.
Well said. Well said.
Thank you.
Love
Thank
that.
you.
Mic drop moment for you.
Well, that's another week in the can, I guess. Joel's not around, so that's going to happen again next week. He'll be back, kids. Don't worry. Don't worry. Either JT, Mo, Emmy will be around too. So we'll be back next week. But until then, I don't have a dad joke because that's a Joel thing.
I can't help either.
And plus, I don't want to talk about lesbian scissoring or anything like that because that's his thing. Mm-hmm. So I'm just going to leave it with we out.
We out.
Peace.
Thank you for listening to what's it called? A podcast. The Chad. The Cheese. Brilliant. They talk about recruiting. They talk about technology. But most of all, they talk about nothing. Just a lot of shout-outs of people you don't even know. And yet you're listening. It's incredible. And not one word about cheese. Not one. Cheddar. Blue. Nacho. Pepper jack. Swiss. So many cheeses. And not one word. So weird. Anywho, be sure to subscribe today on iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, or wherever you listen to your podcasts. That way you won't miss an episode. And while you're at it, visit www.chatcheese.com. Just don't expect to find any recipes for grilled cheese. It's so weird. We out!